This white-haired old witch discovered a golden flower. By singing a specific song to it, she could restore her own youth. But one day, the pregnant queen fell gravely ill. The king sent his people across the kingdom to find a cure. Eventually, a soldier came across this golden flower. They dug it up and took it away directly, which made the witch bitterly resent them ever after. The king then made medicine from the golden flower and fed it to the queen, successfully curing her. She later gave birth to a lovely little princess named Rapunzel. Rapunzel had stunning golden hair. The king and queen gave her all the best things in life, but only the witch knew the true power of Rapunzel's golden hair. It could grant eternal youth and heal any illness. However, once the witch cut it off, the hair instantly lost its magic, and even its radiant gold color turned brown. Seeing this, the witch, in a fit of desperation, actually stole the little princess away. She hid Rapunzel in a tall tower deep in the forest, deceiving her into believing she was her mother. Every day, she would brush Rapunzel's hair and sing to her. As the magic gradually returned to the hair, the witch decided to keep Rapunzel locked up there for life. But even as a child, Rapunzel had discovered a secret. Every year on the princess's birthday, countless sky lanterns would appear in the night sky. They were released by the king and queen, hoping their stolen daughter would one day return home. Soon, 18 years passed, Rapunzel grew up, and her hair grew to an unbelievable length. When let down, it could even cover the entire floor of the room. Yet Rapunzel knew nothing about her true origins. Each time the witch came, she would call out from below the tower, and Rapunzel would lower her hair for the witch to climb up.
Hi, welcome home, Mother.
One day, Rapunzel finally gathered the courage to ask the witch if she could go out to see the sky lanterns on her upcoming birthday. After all, they appeared every year on that day. The witch refused immediately, saying the outside world was far too dangerous, full of ruffians and villains, as well as terrifying poison ivy and quicksand. The most frightening of all were creatures called of men, so it was better not to go out, but to stay safely by her mother's side. What the witch never expected was that, not long after, a man actually found the stone tower. His name was Jack, a thief. Earlier, he had teamed up with two other thieves, and stolen the king's crown. He was soon chased everywhere by the king's guards, then accidentally stumbled into a hidden passage, and by chance arrived at the stone tower where Rapunzel was held. With nowhere else to run, he climbed toward the tall tower, but as soon as he crawled through the window,
alone at last.
Rapunzel gently brushed aside his hair with a frying pan. Puzzled by the person before her, was this a man? He wasn't like what her mother described. No terrifying fangs. And he was actually quite handsome. Just as Jack opened his eyes again, Rapunzel hit him with the pan once more, knocking him out. She then used her long hair to drag him next to a wardrobe. Rapunzel tried every method to lock Jack inside the wardrobe, and even used a chair to bar the door. After accomplishing this feat, Rapunzel's confidence soared. She never imagined she could be so capable. But just as she was praising herself aloud, she noticed something shiny in Jack's bag. Taking it out, she grew even more curious. What exactly was this thing? A bracelet? No, too thick. What about trying it on her head? Once she put it on, Rapunzel found it suited her perfectly. She was stunned. Right then, the witch returned. Rapunzel intended to ask her once more, but this time the witch was furious.
Enough of the lights, Rapunzel! You are not leaving the tower, ever!
Rapunzel was terrified by her anger. She didn't resist, but made another request instead. She wanted the paint made from white shells that the witch had given her before. The witch thought buying it would take 3 days round trip and didn't want to go. But seeing Rapunzel's disappointment and considering it was her birthday, the witch sighed and reluctantly agreed. After tricking the witch into leaving, the clever Rapunzel released Jack. A little lizard slapped its tail twice but got no reaction, so Rapunzel hid the crown, and made a deal with Jack. If you promise to take me to see the sky lanterns, I'll return your treasure to you. Finally, after much coercion and persuasion, Jack had no choice but to agree. He slowly climbed down along the wall. Suddenly, a long strand of hair tumbled down from the high tower, followed by Rapunzel sliding right down her own hair. She cautiously landed on the grass. This was her first time stepping into the world outside the tower in 18 years. The lush green grass, the cool stream water. While enjoying her freedom, she worried, was this a betrayal of the witch? As the witch traveled farther, she grew more and more uneasy. Suddenly, she came face to face with a horse. The horse was there, but the rider was gone. She hurried back to the tower in a panic. She called for Rapunzel but received no reply. When she entered the tower, there was no one inside anymore. All that remained in the corner was a princess's crown. The two of them dashed away, carrying the 200-pound mass of golden hair. The river behind them shattered a stone pillar. It came crashing toward the two. At the critical moment, Rapunzel spotted a cave. Just as the stone pillar was about to crush them, they managed to scramble inside. The reason for this whole situation was actually because Rapunzel had secretly run away from the stone tower. Not long after escaping the tower, Rapunzel followed Ryder to a tavern. As soon as she pushed open the door, the place was filled with menacing men. Rapunzel, holding a frying pan, cautiously made her way through the crowd. Seeing the hostile looks in the eyes of the people around them, Ryder tried to lead Rapunzel away from the crowd. Suddenly, the door was slammed shut by a burly man. It turned out Ryder's identity as a wanted man had been revealed. The crowd planned to capture Ryder to trade him for drinking money. Rapunzel tied her hair to a tree branch, pulled it taut, then instantly let it go. The branch shot out and struck the leader, and she demanded everyone let go of Ryder. Because Ryder had promised to take her to see the floating lanterns. This was the dream of her lifetime. Rapunzel even shouted at the crowd, "Don't any of you have dreams?" This question stunned everyone present. The leader strode over aggressively, saying he was very interested in this topic. Moved by emotion, he poured out his feelings to Rapunzel. It turned out his dream was to be a pianist, and the others danced to the tune of his piano. After this performance, everyone's spirits were instantly ignited. But just then, soldiers stormed in. The leader opened the door to a secret room, and the two made their escape first. Just as the soldiers were searching everywhere without success, the door was suddenly smashed open by the white horse. It sniffed around like a dog, searching for Ryder's scent, and it actually found a clue. It arrogantly pushed its way through the crowd, came up to the bar counter, pointed its hoof underneath, and then pressed a switch, easily opening the secret passage door. Inside, Ryder and Rapunzel were still leisurely discussing their dreams. Soon, the pursuers caught up from behind. Rapunzel, clutching her hair, fled quickly, but to her surprise, the exit of the secret passage turned out to be a cliff edge. By now, the pursuers and the white horse had also arrived. Rapunzel handed the frying pan to Ryder, swung her long hair to hook it onto a wooden beam ahead, and used the momentum to swing across. As for Ryder, who was left behind, he had to grapple with the soldiers. Ryder, wielding the frying pan, was unstoppable, dispatching the soldiers one by one.
Oh, Mama, I have got to get me one of these!
But the truly formidable one was that white horse. It fought Ryder with a sword clenched in its teeth. Soon, it knocked the frying pan out of Ryder's hands, and it was at this moment Rapunzel wrapped her hair around Ryder's arm.
You should see your faces because you look...
Unwilling to give up, the horse kicked over a wooden post. The fallen post formed a makeshift bridge, and the horse walked slowly across it. Left with no other choice, Rapunzel could only jump into a deep pit. The horse came within a hair's breadth of biting her long hair. Rapunzel used her hair to lower herself to the bottom of the pit. Ryder also slid down a chute and caught up with Rapunzel, and the dam collapsed because the horse had kicked over the post. The raging floodwaters first swept the horse away, then rushed toward Ryder and Rapunzel. The surging river water broke another stone pillar. It came crashing toward the two. At the critical moment, they spotted a cave. Just as the giant rock was about to fall, they successfully ducked inside. The giant rock blocked the cave entrance, also blocking the water flow outside. Having narrowly escaped, the two discovered the cave had no exit. Meanwhile, river water continued to pour in without stop. The two could only climb to higher ground. Ryder dove underwater while Rapunzel pounded on the wall ahead with force. They searched everywhere for any possible way out. Ryder even cut his palm in the process. Soon, having tried many methods to no avail, they couldn't help but lose hope. Poor Rapunzel just wanted to go out and see the floating lanterns, yet she had already suffered so many dangers. Now she felt her witch mother was right. The outside world was truly dangerous. Thinking of her mother, Rapunzel suddenly remembered her hair could glow, so she sang the song her mother used to sing. Just as the water was about to submerge them, Rapunzel's hair emitted a flowing golden light. The cave was instantly illuminated. The golden light also spread along her hair toward the bottom of the river. Ryder noticed the golden hair drifting toward the riverbed, which was precisely the direction of the water flow. The two hurriedly swam to that spot, frantically prying at the rocks. Ryder's hand finally broke through to the outside of the cave. The next second, both were flushed out by the current. After being rescued, Rapunzel wrapped her golden hair around Ryder's hand. Then she began to sing the familiar song. The golden light, like flowing water, began to travel along her hair, finally flowing onto Ryder's hand. The wound healed instantly. This scene left Ryder utterly shocked. Just as Ryder went to gather firewood, the witch suddenly appeared. She grabbed Rapunzel, trying to take her back, but Rapunzel still had an unfulfilled wish and was unwilling to return. Seeing Rapunzel so determined, the witch stopped insisting. She even handed the crown to Rapunzel. In her eyes, men were unreliable. They would abandon a woman upon seeing wealth. This was also a good chance to make Rapunzel give up hope. Hearing this, Rapunzel hid the crown, planning to test him after seeing the lanterns. However, all of this was seen by the witch. Early the next morning, the dripping wet white horse found them again. Ryder's scream woke Rapunzel. By now, Ryder was already being dragged away by the horse. Rapunzel rushed over, grabbing Ryder's arm and pulling back with all her might. In the end, the horse only managed to pull off one of his boots. Immediately after, it tried to charge forward again. Rapunzel hurriedly blocked its path. Under the direction of the little lizard, the white horse actually obeyed Rapunzel's command and sat down. Seeing this, Rapunzel couldn't help but praise it. This white horse actually wagged its tail like a dog, enjoying Rapunzel's petting. Rapunzel's words seemed to strike a chord with the horse. Seeing this person understood it so well, the horse nuzzled against Rapunzel and began to whinny happily, but it still wore that same angry expression when facing Ryder. Rapunzel told the horse that today was her birthday, asking it not to capture Ryder for now. Completely unexpectedly, the stubborn white horse actually agreed. Ryder tried to take the opportunity to curry favor with the horse, but the horse proudly turned its head away, refusing. Yet, with Rapunzel's coaxing, the horse reluctantly extended its hoof, pretending to make peace with Ryder. As soon as Rapunzel left, it immediately kicked Ryder to the ground. A girl with dozens of meters of golden hair arrived at the castle to see the floating lanterns. Just after entering the city gates, her long hair caused a traffic accident. Ryder, who was behind her, quickly gathered up her hair and helped her through, just as he was wondering what to do with all that hair. For girls who were busy braiding each other's hair, suddenly caught sight of that extraordinary golden mane. They were so stunned their jaws dropped. Then, with their skilled braiding, Rapunzel's hair no longer dragged on the ground. and she was able to stroll through the streets with ease. While waiting in line to buy bread, she suddenly noticed something, a portrait of the royal family of 3. But when she looked at the girl in the painting, she felt an inexplicable sense of familiarity. Soon, though, she was drawn to music nearby, and began to dance along, pulling bystanders into the dance as well. Her energy instantly lit up the whole town. As evening fell, the two boarded a small boat, patiently waiting for the lanterns to rise. Seeing the floating lanterns on her birthday was the greatest joy for Rapunzel, yet it was also the saddest time for her birth parents. For 18 years, they had never stopped searching for their daughter. They released a lantern carrying all their longing, believing that if their daughter saw it, she would return. Little did they know their daughter was just nearby, gazing at that very lantern as it ascended. Then countless more lanterns slowly rose into the sky, a hope that their light would guide the lost princess home. Under the most beautiful lantern-filled sky, Rapunzel returned the crown to Ryder as promised. Ryder then took out 2 lanterns, one for each of them, and released them into the air, along with their sincerest wishes. Seeing Rapunzel so radiant, Ryder found himself captivated. He took her hand, and in that moment, his eyes held only her. But 2 figures on the opposite shore shattered this beautiful scene. Seeing this, Ryder had no choice but to take the crown and leave, asking Rapunzel to wait for him there. Watching him go, Rapunzel trusted he wouldn't abandon her. Ryder found the 2 men, and handed over the crown directly. But now, they weren't interested in the crown anymore. Long ago, the 3 of them had stolen it together, only for Ryder to take it alone. The other 2 had been searching everywhere to reclaim it, until one day the witch brought the crown to them, and revealed the secret of the golden hair. Tempted, the thieves now wanted Rapunzel herself. Meanwhile, Rapunzel kept waiting patiently. Finally, a figure appeared in the distance, and she breathed a sigh of relief. She had feared Ryder wouldn't return, but as the person drew nearer, she realized it wasn't him. The 2 pointed toward the boat, where Ryder lay bound and unresponsive. Rapunzel called his name, but he gave no answer, breaking her heart completely. The 2 before her were Ryder's former partners. Knowing the secret of her hair, they intended to kidnap her. Terrified, Rapunzel tried to run, but her hair got caught along the way. In panic, she struggled to free herself, until suddenly, she heard Mother Gothel's voice. Approaching, she saw that Mother Gothel had knocked out the 2 villains. Shaken, Rapunzel clung tightly to her mother. In just 2 days away from home, she had faced so much danger. Her mother insisted on taking her back, yet Rapunzel thought of Ryder, torn between the newfound bond with him, and the mother waiting to bring her home. Since Ryder had abandoned her, Rapunzel chose to leave with Mother Gothel. By then, Ryder's boat had drifted to shore, and was spotted by castle guards. Bound tightly, he couldn't steer it at all. Mother Gothel successfully brought Rapunzel back to the stone tower. Heartbroken and confused, Rapunzel agonized over why Ryder had left her so suddenly. Gazing at the sunflower embroidered on her handkerchief, and the sunflowers painted across the ceiling, she suddenly watched as they began to glow. A brilliant, shimmering gold. The light grew brighter, and childhood memories rushed back. She remembered, she was the lost princess with golden hair. I am the missing princess, Rapunzel declared to Mother Gothel. She decided to leave the tower for good, and in that moment, the witch finally revealed her true self. The man ruthlessly cut off the world's most beautiful golden hair. The golden hair turned brown. Rapunzel became short-hair princess, and the witch lost the secret recipe that kept her forever young. Not long ago, Ryder was captured by soldiers. He was now about to be escorted to the execution ground. Suddenly, the gate ahead slammed shut instantly. Then, all the surrounding doors were loudly closed one after another. The captain hurried forward, pounding on the door and demanding an explanation. An old man with a white beard appeared at the small window, asking for the passcode. The soldier thought he was joking. Angrily, he ordered the door to be opened. Little did he know, the soldier behind him was suddenly hooked up to the ceiling. Another soldier was dragged into a nearby prison cell. When he turned around, only Ryder was left at the scene. Before he could react, he was knocked out by a frying pan swung by a burly man from behind. Just then, soldiers behind them broke through the gate and rushed in. Seeing this, everyone quickly scattered and fled. The pursuing soldiers were stopped by a clown. The clown gestured for them to look left. As they looked left, a burly man was charging toward them. By now, Ryder had also rushed outdoors, but seeing countless soldiers coming for him, he froze. At that moment, the previous leader grabbed Ryder and positioned him. Then he told him to get ready. A burly man suddenly jumped from upstairs, landing right on the handle of the cart. Ryder was instantly launched into the air, landing steadily on the white horse atop the city wall. It turned out that earlier, when the white horse saw Ryder captured, it guessed that Rapunzel might be in danger, so it ran to the forest inn, gathered the like-minded friends from before, and rescued Ryder, who was about to be executed. The white horse carried Ryder, jumping from the wall to a tall building. Then, with another leap, they landed steadily on the ground. They left the castle at top speed, rushing toward the stone tower. Soon, they arrived at the base of the stone tower. Just as Ryder was about to climb it, a strand of golden hair was tossed down. Seeing this, Ryder didn't hesitate, climbing up along the golden hair. As soon as he entered the room, he was stunned by the scene before him. Rapunzel was actually tied up. While he was still in shock, the witch stabbed a knife into his body. Seeing Ryder on the verge of death, Rapunzel begged the witch to let her heal him, on the condition that she would never leave. The witch readily agreed, but when Rapunzel brought her long hair to heal Ryder. Ryder resisted. He didn't want to see Rapunzel lose her freedom, but Rapunzel couldn't bear to see Ryder die. Seeing he couldn't refuse, Ryder reached out to stroke Rapunzel's long hair. Suddenly, he forcefully swung a piece of glass, cutting off that most beautiful long hair. Then, Ryder's hand fell limp. Rapunzel's hair turned back to brown. The severed hair lost its magic, and the witch, who relied on the golden hair to maintain her youth, also reverted to her original, aged appearance in that moment. Looking at herself in the mirror, the witch's mind began to unravel. In her panic, she accidentally fell from the tower. Having lived for centuries, she turned to dust before her body even hit the ground. Only her clothes remained on the ground. Now, the short-haired Rapunzel held Ryder tightly, each expressing their love for the other. Seeing Ryder's eyes closed, Rapunzel sang a sorrowful song. Tears also fell on Ryder's face. Then, the tears slowly seeped into his skin. A small golden flower sprouted and then vanished. Suddenly, a shining golden light emerged from Ryder's wound. The light grew like a sunflower, gradually spreading throughout the entire room, and blooming perfectly before Rapunzel's eyes. A giant flower blossomed from Ryder's wound, then disappeared into his body. Rapunzel watched in amazement. Suddenly, Ryder woke up.
Did I ever tell you I've got a thing for brunette?
Rapunzel excitedly embraced him. Later, soldiers pushed open the king's door. The king and queen heard that the missing princess had returned. They were overjoyed. Outside the door was Rapunzel. Though she no longer had dazzling golden hair, nor the appearance of her childhood, the queen could still feel that unbreakable bond of family. The mother sighed. Rapunzel sighed too. Mother and daughter were truly alike. The mother held her daughter. The sweetest moment was the joy of reunion. The father then approached, embracing his daughter, lost for 18 years, and couldn't help shedding tears of emotion. Now, the family was finally together again.